All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with episode number 110 of My Cup of Tea.
Whew, how did we get that much? That's crazy.
I don't know. I'm kind of scared, and I'm too afraid to ask. But yeah, it's a packed one today, Evan. We are technically covering a show, but it's a bit broader, and we have a lot of different topics to discuss.
Yeah, it was funny because I think last week I said we wouldn't talk about any other shows for a good while because there's not many interesting shows. Percy Jackson's in December 20th, so it'll be when everybody's on break and stuff. So it's gonna be a while. But then I forgot about Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, -1.
One
No.
+5.
+5 plus a trio. There's 2 trios in this show so far. Did not expect that. Power of trios.
Time jumping trio of lineage.
I guess so. It was funny because my brother and I were watching this. We're trying to piece together the lineage of all these characters. I'm like, that's his father who had his family over here, but then this guy's older version of this person, and then their grandfather was this person. And I was like, okay.
You really got to pay attention to the names.
Really got to pay attention to the names, exactly. Let's start there. Let's talk about what came out recently, as early as Friday, and I guess new episodes come out on Wednesdays. That's what my Apple TV said.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was looking at my Apple TV. I'm like, oh wow, this said next episode on Wednesday.
Episode 3 before my week free trial.
Oh my gosh,
it's $10.
Yeah, Apple TV is pretty cheap. Yeah, $10.
I tried my damnedest to get that 3 months free, but it's like, you need a device. I'm like, fuck. I already did that in the past.
Oh yeah, because you can use your PS4 for that one.
I think I did. I would.
Oh, but you already. Okay, I see what you're saying. You said you already used the 3 month one. Yeah. They keep telling me that. I'm like, I'm already logged in on Apple TV, but they keep trying to give me the ad. I'm like, it won't work for me. Yeah. I wouldn't even need it. Anyways, Godzilla. Wait, it's called Monarch: Legacy of Monsters. Godzilla's not even in the title.
Right.
I just call it the Godzilla show.
Which you were always like, what a detriment that'll be to marketing.
Awful. I don't know how the ratings.
He's in every spot, isn't he?
Every spot. Not even in the first episodes.
But. I'm sitting here and I'm like, when's he gonna rise from the dirt? What episode?
The one shot.
When do I get my Godzilla versus Mothra callback?
I'm very curious to see how much he's in the show, but also what were the ratings, the viewership was for this show. I guess we'll figure it out on Monday. Because I had a good time with it, and there were some good reviews coming out about it as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we saw the first 2 episodes of Monarch: Legacy of Monsters, and so far so good. What I liked about it was, surprisingly, I care about the human characters, Nathan, in both time periods. So what we embark on in this show is like 2 different time periods, and we're kind of given each of those in the first couple of minutes. We just intersperse them throughout. But we're in the 1950. First of all, we're in 1959 when we get this. I didn't take any notes for this show. I'm going off the top of my head.
I just finished, so I hope I can help.
Thank you very much. 1959 was the first one we're introduced to with young Wyatt Russell with his friend Billy and Kay, who is a grandmother of the person that we see in the beginning. Yeah. Okay. Kay, who was 1959. And that's like our first trio. They're the ones that embark on this crazy witch hunt, which we'll get to. Idiots, all of them. At the end of the
science, Evan, for science.
In the name of science, you get a swab and walk out.
I do love that. Why?
And full spoilers.
Yeah.
Full spoilers. Yeah.
I guess Shaw is his name. His last name. So I'll call him that. Shaw was like, no, we don't need to do that. We're going to die.
Yeah, I can look. I can see. Take a picture. Like, I know this is 1959, but they have photos. But no, we need to get a swab. We need to get some genetic material from
I love how, over it he was, before they were even done. It was, 5 minutes, and he's down there. Guy's like, what do you see? And he's like, same thing you see, but closer.
Yeah, it's like, okay, nothing changed here. And then all she ended up doing was getting a swab. and then just like, chaos. I'm
And
like,
the Earth opened,
yeah, as soon as the Earth opened, I'm running. But they stood for a good like minute. They're like,
which is
like
something
okay,
I want to discuss. I love how terrifying the kaiju of this world are presented.
big time. That was the big appeal of the show for me in the first episodes. The horror elements really worked for me. I didn't expect the end of episode 1 to be the death of one of the. I figured one of them was going to drop, but I figured it was going to be Billy, the
Mm,
other normal white dude.
sure.
I was like, oh, he's totally going to die, but no, they killed Kay. I'm like, oh shit, and it was brutal too, horrifying.
I agree, but then also as we're suddenly in episode 2 going even further back to now build up the trio, I'm thinking maybe she's down there. Maybe we'll get her back.
Oh, I see what you're saying, possibly. Um, but
Oh
man,
yeah, I don't know.
even in the second episode, as you mentioned, we get like this creepy shots from inside this submarine that was on the water and then got flung 10,000 or 5,000 miles away.
Yeah, from Pearl Harbor to the middle of the Philippines.
How did that happen?
I imagine.
A kaiju picked it up and just dropped it, right?
Yes, but I don't think the one we see at the end of episode 2 because that's too small to carry
Too
that weight.
small. And it seemed like, what was it going on in there? Was that like a nest for it? Why was it like subjugating those? Why was it like, I don't know what the word for it is. Not freezing, but just like gooping all those,
Oh,
sailors inside of the ship. They were just glued to the walls.
I don't know. It probably could be a nesting situation.
It had to be some kind of, yeah, like was it feeding off of them? Was just, I have no idea. It was creepy imagery. They're just going through the
Yeah,
ship and they're all just humans glued to the
so
walls of the
gooey,
ship.
mummified.
Gooey, calcified is the word probably. But it was interesting. I really liked those horror elements because it really bought into like how creepy these monsters are, and it really worked for the show because in the movies of the same universe, whether it's Godzilla 1 and 2 and King Kong or Godzilla versus Kong, it's very action based, and the human characters that I give zero shits about, and they don't really take the human characters seriously at all. They're like, oh, I got a podcast, and the government's crazy. I'm
It's
like, what is
it,
happening?
it is very funny though. Like the last real like serious tone we had with humans was the first movie in 2014.
The first one was the only one that took it seriously.
And even though once Cranston bites it, we're a bit checked out. At least they're still attempting to treat it like
Like an actual alien invasion. Like
yeah,
Godzilla has come to San Francisco and we're fucked kind of
yeah.
thing. Like they
So
take
we
it
think,
seriously.
uh,
Or so you think, yeah.
which is always a fun pairing of like. I was very impressed when they flipped on because the marketing was like Godzilla run away, but then when he turns out to be the protector in the next couple of movies, that was a fascinating reversal. But then also I found it refreshing when Godzilla vs Kong framed him a lot more as the antagonist in a sense, even though he was still a savior against Mechagodzilla. But now here we get to properly see that side of our, is my favorite aspect of these episodes, is our main girl's post-traumatic experience from the bridge in San Francisco in the first movie.
Yeah, it was really cool to see a realistic interpretation of a panic attack. Um,
Where's the short? Damn it! I see your poster back there. Where is it?
I was talking about the Puss in Boots meme.
Oh,
Where people are like, "This is a Puss in Boots, is a realistic interpretation
I
of a
still
panic
have to
attack."
see that. I think of the fucking Ruby Gillman teenage Kraken trailer
Why?
because they just said it in the trailer.
I'm having a panic
Attack.
attack. What was the fuck? That made like $5 million opening weekend.
Every time the
Oh,
trailer come out,
man.
I'm like,
Yeah, I
the
check
animation
out.
does look nice, but like the
I
dialogue,
check
what is he
out.
doing?
Yeah. Uh,
Play it on
by the
mute.
way, I went to go see Hunger Games over the weekend, and have you seen it yet?
No.
It's great. But worst trailer package of the year.
Uh
Of the year. Madam Web, which we'll get to.
oh.
Imaginary, which looks derivative. It was Madam Web. Aquaman was in there somewhere. Not good.
It's pretty good.
And then what else do we get? It was just a lot of bad movies. I was like, man, Argyle was in there, which looks okay. I just got a lot of bad. The Bob Marley trailer again. Wish again. I'm like, man, these things. Where's Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? That was a fantastic teaser.
I got
And they
that in
didn't
front
show
of what I
the
just posted.
Marvels.
The Marvels, yeah.
Me too.
Just looks so.
It should be in front of everything. Like,
It
come
should.
on, easy money.
Especially if you're watching in a premium format, you know.
Exactly. But yeah, this show, the horror elements work, and yeah, like we're saying, I like the PTSD that is unfortunate for her, but it's great to witness it because it really delves into like how people are affected mentally by these monsters. It's not just like oh wow, oh destruction, chaos. It's just like no, internally these characters are affected by it, and that sequence on the bridge, holy shit. That school bus falling into the mist full of screaming children. Hey, yo. That was some have you seen the movie Trick or Treat?
Yeah.
With the Halloween movie. It reminded me of there's a scene in Trick or Treat
Right.
where the school bus of children get, fall off a cliff. And I was like, hey, yo, this is dark. And then that's the first thing that came to mind. I don't know why. But yeah, it was very dark. I'm like, holy shit, I would be traumatized too if I see half of my school children. She was a teacher, I think, and it's just like, wow, this is terrifying.
It was very scary. I mean, yeah, she was able to help. I think at least one kid off.
Yeah, I'd have been the first one out of there. She
right. And then everything starts flying, and like it's a great shot. I know it's been in the trailer, but like Godzilla's face gets hit with the missiles, and it just like knocks over like a roar right in her face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that'd be so fucking scary.
CGI visual effects incredible in this episode so far, in both of the episodes so far.
Something her cab driver said was they used as to make it a hoax.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got a podcast, CGI. I was like, first of all, fuck you. Yeah,
it's almost as if we're poking fun at these type of characters.
I know. Yeah, we have a podcast. We're talking about it. Yeah, it was very hilarious, but also, realistic. That's it's very meta because a lot of people have a podcast like us. But we're not talking about bullshit unless we are.
Web trailer.
It depends on your taste. But yeah, that was hilarious. It felt very real.
But I love the build up. Like they're driving through the city and they have like automated defense systems, like missile trackers, like just on the overpass.
Yeah, this was interesting. So we know Godzilla by this point attacked San Francisco.
Yeah, that was.
It also attacked Japan early in the 2014 movie with Bryan Cranston, right? Or no, that wasn't Godzilla at all,
no,
right?
That was a Muto.
Muto.
Not even like a born Muto. It was one that it was just like the cocoon pulsating, causing an earthquake.
Okay.
So it was no like monster terrorizing as of yet. I believe there was an instance of they found the skeletal remains of a Godzilla in the Philippines in '99. Kemal Nabi's character found it in the first movie.
Let them fight, yes.
Right. But otherwise, primarily in terms of Godzilla, he's only been in the public eye once as of San Francisco. Before that, he was in 1954, which we've seen in the trailer. They're going to show the bomb. What was under the guise of bomb test was actually them trying to destroy him. I think it's called Operation Lucky Dragon in the universe.
Well, shit. How do you know all this?
Lore, baby. The MonsterVerse is as more expansive than you may think. There's novels and shit.
And you read?
No, I get update videos. My own side of Star Wars explained, if you will.
Wow, I have no idea about this. I can't wait to see that. That's cool.
Yeah, there was glimpses of it in the 2014 film. I know they were doing like PowerPoint slides after Cranston died.
These motherfuckers love PowerPoint slides, and they love redacted documents.
Yeah. I mean, it looks cool.
Looks cool. Looks important. If you want to make something look important, just redact it, and it'll look 10 times more important. Anyways,
I saw somebody posted a unredacted file of Asgard's destruction in Loki from the TVA, and there's fucking nothing in there. I was reading all this like it was like some weird ass like coding, and it's just like basic shit like Asgard casualties, space, fucking
Just bullshit.
Yeah,
That's hilarious. But okay, so Japan. So Japan, I assume, is not the only one going through these in case Godzilla attacks drills, I guess, or whatever they're called. Because I was like, why is Japan so locked down on Godzilla if they haven't been attacked yet? But I assume every country has this.
Maybe. I mean, at the point in the timeline, which is our present day in the show, it's a year after the first movie, a year after San Francisco.
So even the modern time with Kay, Kentaro, and Iris, Iris Clemens.
I was looking up. I was like, where do I know her? Oh, that's right, The Flash.
I was thinking, I was like, she's a great actress, but I forget what role she's been in besides The Flash. I know she's been in way more products than just The Flash. I don't know why.
Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Is she in Dope? She's the one in Dope, right?
Yeah, I did see her credit as Dope.
I always get her confused between her and Tessa in Dope. I was like, either her and Tessa were in Dope. I used to get them confused all the time. Now I don't.
I was like, is Tessa in Dope?
I don't think so. But yeah, anyways, because she was great. Fucking Kiersey Clemens was great in this. I like our weird, chaotic, not trusting at all trio. By the way, speaking of the trio, Kiersey Clemens' character, I forget her name already. Fuck. But her and Kentaro, the boy, they used to date. Now it's super awkward. It's weird. I assume he bailed because she wanted to get too serious and he didn't, or something like that. It felt weird because he's like, now you come back to me or whatever.
I got a totally different read. I felt weird because I thought he dipped because his dad died. And I'm like, why are you handling it with him this way?
Oh no!
I'm like, yo,
she's not sympathetic.
She's like, I gave you time. It's like you can't put a limit on that.
Oh,
May. May's her name. I don't know.
I didn't read that at all. I just had it like, first of all, I don't know when the dad died. Do we know this? Was it recent?
I mean, you would assume it's recent, but also I don't know the time it takes to traverse to Japan, and then it looks like they already had a very established shrine.
If she's from San Fran, isn't this across the pond?
Yeah, it's still a long flight.
It's a probably 12-hour flight, right?
And also, I mean, if he ended up somewhere, I think around Alaska, I think they were saying.
His plane fell in Alaska, and that's all they were told. Monarch.
Yeah. So who's to say how long it took to radio the information, and how long that goes between both families.
Yeah.
Very.
This guy is getting places. So let's break all this crazy fucking family character dynamics down here.
I can't. I'm too confused. I don't have enough info yet.
It's very confusing. So okay. Where do we start?
Siblings, so that'll be fun.
They're step siblings.
Not in that way, you sick fuck.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about?
No. That should be fun. Why should it be fun?
Oh, it's just building the new family dynamics.
Okay.
Stop laughing.
So that should be fun. It was a weird thing to say. Anyways,
you made it weird by laughing.
How?
Your fault. Your mind. And May's here.
May's here. So yeah, May. May's or May no.
May is Iris.
May is Iris. Kentaro is the boy. Who's our main lead? Shit.
I know. I'm bad with names. I'm notorious.
Me too. But you just saw it, so you have no excuse.
I have. Also, Apple TV was fucking up a couple times with the subtitles. Really? Yeah, because somebody will start a sentence. It's a long sentence, and they'll flash it on for 1 second. And I'm like, come back! And then they're still talking. And then the next line they say, it stays on screen a while and it's fine. I'm like, well, what the fuck?
I'm notoriously what subtitles kills me? Hulu usually kill awful with subtitles.
Really?
Like it's either too long, too short, or there's like a second delay. But her name is Kate. We got to get back to the island, Kate.
Is that a lost
quote?
reference?
Yeah. Thank you. So yeah,
until the smog monster comes in the kaiju.
Kate, Kentaro, and May. So yeah, Kate is the daughter of Hashiro, or the missing father, which we don't have an actor playing him, or we do, but I don't have his name. So we had the father, who had two families, in Kate's and her mom, and Kentaro and his mom, and the person we see in the flashback, Kay, she is the grandmother
of Kate. Which would make her the.
Is she the mother of the father?
That would have to be, right?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
So yeah, I assume when Kay died by the Beatles in episode 1, her and Billy in 1959 had already birthed her father. No, yeah, her father was born in 1959. I would assume. Would that work?
Sure.
Or would he be too old? 60. He'd be 60.
55.
55.
55
20.
by San Francisco. 2014.
Okay, yeah, that would work. So yeah, I assume
he's aging phenomenally.
Yeah, aging great. So yeah, I assume. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So yeah, and then yeah, they're both trying to figure out what happened to their father. They both realize that the father. By the way, is the father was he the one who found the Monarch bag when he was fishing? Was that the same guy?
I just thought it was random fisherman.
I thought, but then how did Kay's father got a hold of it?
I think that's going to be a part of the larger mystery.
Okay, but he was not working for Mon, or was he? Do we assume he was working with Monarch, or who wasn't? And Monarch was just onto him, and they finally found the missing bag.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because it's John Goodman's bag, which is a whole nother side thing.
You think he's back or bad?
His bag.
Yeah, it's John Goodman's bag.
Right. And I'm watching. I'm like, when did this happen in Skull Island?
Me too. That's why I was so confused. I was like, Nathan definitely knows the answer to this.
Because I'm like, it's a spider, and there was a explicit spider scene. I'm like, was Goodman in the group? Was like Sam Jackson lugging him behind? What happened?
I have no idea. I was like, he wasn't. I was like, he died during the movie, so this took place before the movie. But no, he came on board to his island with everybody else, right?
But also, I remember that they shot down that spider, but this spider gets dunked in.
But there's a lot of spiders.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about the giant like bamboo leg spider in the forest.
Yeah, there's a lot of bamboo leg spiders, right?
I remember the one. That's why it was like a whole thing where they're like, "Oh, look around, shoot the legs," and fucking like whittling it down. It was a cool sequence. Also found cool these different like new kaiju we are seeing. This was like a crab monster, which I'm going to call an Easter egg personally for the monster Ebera from the classic Godzilla films, Godzilla versus the Sea Monster.
Mm-hmm.
But probably not. But they're both crustacean claw.
Nice.
Kaiju.
Crusty crab motherfuckers.
Yeah. Larry, living like Larry looking ass.
Clever. So yeah, I assume this took place during the movie. John Goodman's bag carries information about Wyatt Russell, right? Because inside the bag was like, or no. Because inside the bag we figure out
they found well, there's a bunch of files in there, and through the tech they uncovered an image of her grandmother in a giant kaiju footprint.
You're right. Okay, I'm thinking of something else. So yeah, so Kay Kay was seen with a giant footprint via John Goodman's files.
And then later when our boy comes back home, what's his name?
Kentaro.
When he goes back home and he's talking with his mom and they're like looking at the photos stuff, ripping them up, he finds an image of Wyatt Russell and says that they were.
And this image was where?
In the photo books.
In their photo books, not in the bag.
No.
Okay.
Or was it? I thought he went back to his dad's office. He broke open one of the filing cabinets. He got a file.
You're right.
On Shaw that had his image in it. He took that home. Asked about it.
So his father knew about Wyatt Russell. Wyatt Russell didn't really work for Monarch, but he was trying to protect somebody who did work for Monarch and K. So Kurt/Wyatt knows a lot about Shaw knows a lot about Monarch. They have him under witness protection. I was figured out by the end of the episodes because he knows too much. I would assume. I don't know why.
You think that's what happened with the father? Is like he got witness protection from the one family to the other? Well, that would have been too soon. That would have been too late in the.
No, yeah, that the reason for having two families needs to get talked about or needs to be discussed in future episodes. Why? Why?
It was also like personable enough to have both combination of both families' birthdays as the code to the safe.
That's fucked up. Yeah,
that's a little fucked up.
My birthday, your mom's year, your date, your mom's year.
She said your month, my day, your mom's month, my mom's day. I'm like, that is very. There must be a reason.
Like why? Like, and we saw one flashback with him where we're introduced with him in San Francisco post, 5 days after he attacked the movie.
G-Day +5. Godzilla -1.
Great. And he seemed cool there. He was like, hey, he seemed awful. What am I saying? He seemed cool. He was awful. He comes to see his daughter.
He seemed genuinely concerned.
Hey, daughter, are you okay? By the way, here's a hotel. I'm out. Bye. I won't give you a reason, but bye. I could die. Bye. Weird. Yeah. Sorry. Hey, Dad. Bye, Dad. Like, what the hell? Is he going to go see his other family at this point, or he just continue to research, quote unquote? I don't think he worked for Monarch, but I think he was at this point trying to get some more information via Monarch or what?
They said that one of the seismic readings that they found on the files matched the big old scanner that they tore down that was covering the safe in his office. And they had also established that no matter what side of the pond with whatever family he was spending with, he was equally burying himself more than he should have been in his work.
Exactly. So I'm very curious about that. Because at first I thought he was just working for Monarch. Mm-hmm. But then we get the Monarch perspective of these two grunts. Let's talk about these idiots. I don't even know his name. Dude with glasses and the Matrix-looking girl, bodyguard.
Yeah. So it was throwing me off because what I was initially picking up is that he was trying to get ahead of Monarch itself from.
I thought the same thing.
And that might still be the case, but
I don't know. I thought he was good. I thought he was cool, right? I was like, okay.
I don't know. She threw her phone in his face. Toward the beginning.
Wait, what? That was after he introduced himself to Kay, right?
Yeah. They were stepping outside the train station because she had to make a call, but it was a ploy, and she threw her phone in his face. And I'm like, why would you use your phone? Could just ran in the sea of people and be like, help!
Exactly. But I was talking about prior to that, like when we first get introduced to it, where some IT person gets a ping on the files.
Right.
So at this point, I assume Monarch killed their father. Then the father hid his files. And, it's a classic case of like killers kill somebody, but they're like, but wait, where's the file? We don't know where the files are. Mm. Then later they get the ping on the files. They're like, oh, So this is where he hid the files, even after we killed him. So they go to pick up the files. It says Japan. Somehow they narrow it down to K from Tokyo. I forgot how that happened, but I guess they narrowed it down the IP address.
Well, no, because that would have been for May and her location. I think that they may have gotten some type of info from Kate, maybe.
I don't know how they figured out Kate, because one scene they were like, all we have is a general area of Tokyo. And I was like, that's gonna be hard to narrow it down. Next scene, he's in the subway with Kate. I'm like, okay, he found her. Weird.
I am blanking on that, yeah.
But yeah, maybe we're forgetting something. But either way, he finds her, and I'm still like, okay, maybe he wants to talk about her father. Maybe he knows some information. Maybe he's good. But then, yeah, when Kate throws the phone at him, starts running away, I was like, okay, this dynamic is shifting. And then they get pulled into the car. He gets in there. He looks pissed. I'm like, are these? So now he's working with the weird ice cold women. And then they're like, can you tell us anything about those files or anything about what's going on here? And she's not giving them shit. And then she causes a car crash and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, this is seeming more and more like they're just Team Rocket buffoons rather than actual trying to assist us. These are not good characters, which I figured they were good because the white guy he just gives off no threat whatsoever, but the other girl does. And I'm just like, okay, this is a weird dynamic. But yeah, so that part was interesting. Again, I like the May Kentaro weird relationship stuff. They'll probably get back together, unless no, I'm kidding. And then we have the flashbacks with Kay. It looked like they were setting up Wyatt Russell getting with the scientist, but she ends up getting with Billy, the basic guy. Do you think we see Billy in the present day?
Yeah, I think there's.
That's technically their grandfather.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I assume in 59.
Because it's his name.
You're right. Is his name where?
It's on the chest in the boat. It's like, oh, that's your stuff. Yeah. And he also said it's his name.
Because he was on the Navy. And then everybody died, apparently. He said he was the only survivor during the blackout.
The lone survivor of that Pearl Harbor attack, but not the Pearl Harbor attack.
And then he's been looking that he turned into a cryptozoologist from the Navy. Okay, unless he was making that up, I don't know.
I guess if you live through a kaiju event, it changes you.
Changes your life changing. So yeah, that was interesting. I don't know what else to say. Overall, it was a very fun premiere. I liked following these characters. The family stuff is confusing, but I liked following the characters. For some reason, I was just very invested in what was going on with Kate, her trauma, her going to Japan. Like, again, getting these different timelines and getting to know these characters on a deeper level, it just made it feel more real. It seems like a very different tone than what we've been getting from this universe, which used to be just like quick one-liners, destruction, and that's it.
I was watching and I was like, so it's possible.
Right?
I can be invested.
I can be invested. They take their fucking time and don't just be like, let's create this crazy. Like, the movies don't know what tone to be. They don't know whether to be super cheesy with like a robot Godzilla fighting Godzilla. That's crazy. We understand that. But at the same time, you can make us care about the character by making it just feel real. Let us live in the terror of what's going on.
Let the characters be less comedically silly and let them actually be like, oh fuck, this is terrifying. The world we live in is fucking scary.
Exactly. I think that's what we're getting with -1, by the way. Given just the trailer,
absolutely.
The first trailer that I saw alone, I'm like, this looks we're fucked.
Yeah, it's a period piece, so it's pre, technology aid, and it's already going to be Japan after both bombings, like freshly after Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and so they have like nothing to properly defend themselves, which is terrifying enough. Which that'll be interesting. That'll be fun. We'll have a review of that by early December.
Early December, yeah, we'll definitely talk about it. It comes out December 1st. Christine 29th.
Yeah, early access 29th.
I'm seeing it whenever the fuck I can because there's a lot of movies coming out that week. It's busy. I was telling people earlier that like I gotta schedule some shit because I want to see Thanksgiving, I want to see Wish, I want to see Napoleon, I want to see Saltburn. Those all come out next week. And Thanksgiving's already out. So I gotta squeeze. I gotta squeeze in some time.
Is Thanksgiving getting good reviews?
People seem to like it.
Nice.
And it has one girl from the show that I loved on Disney Plus that got canceled. Not Willow. It was
National Treasure. That's right.
Fucking hate it.
I'm sorry.
Give me flashbacks. And it was funny because the National Treasure podcast followed me when I was tweeting about the show, and then they unfollowed me when I was like, "The show sucks."
Damn.
It was hilarious.
They like the show then.
They're like, "This guy isn't it?" Because I was excited during the build up to that. I was like, one of my all-time top 10 favorite movies of all time. This show looks fun. I'll defend this show. It looks cool, guys. You guys are just hating. Then I watched it. And I'm like, oh, not great. Anyways, no, it was like this girl basketball show on Disney Plus. I forget what it was called now. And it was really fun. For fun first 2 seasons. I thought they would go for a 3rd season, but
with
they
the
didn't.
Show with Stamos?
Yes, exactly. And she was the main lead or one of the main leads in that. And she's a star of Thanksgiving. I was like, oh, I really like this actress. I'll watch what she's in. And then Thanksgiving seems like a fun slasher, so I want some fun. But overall, I want some slashing. The hashing slasher.
The cash bringing, the tash.
The tash tingling, yeah.
The thrash bringing. I'm sorry.
Man, peak spun bub. But overall, thumbs up from Godzilla or from Monarch. I'm very curious moving forward to see what's going on with the father, what these kids end up discovering. They now have Wyatt Russell on the team. It was a trio. Kurt Russell, yeah. It was a trio. Now it's a 4 with Shaw. They know where the father died in Alaska. Are we heading straight to Alaska? Are we globetrotting?
Maybe.
And they're all on the run now because the mom basically said, like, son, run, get the fuck out of here. When she gave him a picture of Wyatt/Kirk, whatever, Shaw. And that was it. So they're basically on the run from Monarch. I thought this Monarch show would be about like learning more about Monarch scientists, and the Monarch are the bad guys. So it's a show about the bad guys.
It is really interesting that when this universe started, they were introducing this concept of Monarch, and even from the jump, I was like, I don't really care about this random government agency.
Same.
This is just another human aspect getting in the way of my kaiju fun.
Yeah.
But then it continues to be the DNA of world building to the other kaiju, and that's been fascinating. And yeah, this has been my favorite set of characters since I don't know, maybe Skull Island, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. And Skull Island, wasn't great, but it had Brie Larson and Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, and it's like it's fun. They all have good casts. It's just how they're used, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah, the casts are always the best part about these movies, but then they're not really used well.
It's like, you got Brian Tyree Henry. Yeah, did you?
Yeah. Vera Farmiga, Brian Tyree Henry. This cast was. I mean, those movies are always stacked.
But yeah, I also didn't know that Matt Shackman was directing Monarch.
Oh, me neither. I was surprised by that.
He was like, it's going to be a minute before Fantastic Four. Let me just cook this up.
Exactly. So, speaking of Fantastic Four, do you want to get to that right now? Do you want to go straight into some casting rumors?
Yeah, that's a good transition. I think I went too far in today's thumbnail. I don't know.
It was great. It was fantastic. What do you mean?
I appreciate. I did like 5 layers of topics. All like I had to get ambitious because I was like not only doing diagonal, but I was like I'm gonna have their heads like pop over like the next bar. It's just.
Ooh. Now I want to look at it again real quick. Yeah, I like it. I see what you mean now.
Even in like the top corner, I was like, let me cut out Catherine. Let me put some spores behind her for Last of Us.
Oh wow, you did. Okay. Oh shit, Nathan cooking
in that 10 pixel corner that no one's gonna notice.
And I noticed it now. Now the audience knows.
This is why I finished Monarch just now.
Actually, before we get into Fantastic Four, let's get into the Abby casting. Let's do that first. That's one and done. So it's funny, Nathan, because post Stack Strikes, we're like, okay, it's going to be casting week. We know we're going to get into tons of casting rumors all the time. Last of Us is filming early. Fantastic Four is filming soon. We know the casting announcements are going to be ramping up, and that's exactly what we got this week.
Where are they?
And Abby has been. We have a rumored Abby casting, which is the only reason I'm talking about it is because we haven't seen a lot of Last of Us casting. And Caitlin Dever, star of the latest No One Will Save You, as well as the Romeo and Juliet movie, Booksmart. She was in that heartbreaking movie with Timothée Chalamet, where she played his sister when he was a drug addict. I forget what it's called now. Something Boy. Beautiful Boy. Yeah, she played his sister there. I've seen her in everything. I think I have. So I could write off her. Look her up on IMDb. She's fantastic. Most notably from Booksmart, which is an all-timer. And she is rumored to be playing Abby. And also, before I get into this, she also had a backstory with Naughty Dog. She was a very famous fan cast for Ellie, of course. She played Cassie. She played Cassie in Uncharted 4, and she is a huge she has history with Neil in Druckmann via Naughty Dog, via Uncharted 4, but also fan casting that's hard to ignore. I assume she auditioned for Ellie. I would assume so. So bringing her back to play Abby, this is casting 101, isn't it? Yeah. In terms of you audition to the hero, but you're going to play the villain. Happens all the time.
I think I most infamously think Tom Hiddleston auditioned for Thor.
Chris Evans auditioned for Red Skull and he got Captain America. That was cool.
Who was it?
Kidding.
Who auditioned for Captain America? Did Chris Pratt?
Everybody. Probably Chris Pratt.
Yeah, John Krasinski did too. I remember that.
Yeah.
Your favorite.
He's good.
I love John Krasinski.
As the director, he's great. Maybe if I watch The Office more than, twice, I would like him more.
I'm going through it again right now, and I'm just like, God, he's so fucking funny. Let him cook his Reed.
He wasn't great as Reed.
He wasn't bad.
You're right. I mean,
it was just such an isolated event of scenes he did, Yeah.
But I think this would be such fascinating casting for Abby. First of all, Caitlin's a phenomenal actress. She can do everything. And I was nervous because I thought people were going to be upset about it because she does not look like Abby. Kind of does. But
cut to the Instagram photo of her in the gym.
Exactly. People oh, yeah, she's working out. Yeah. That's going to happen.
She's going to take one behind the seat pic. It's like, oh, your dirty blonde hair.
Yeah. But Abby's such a
even when I'm looking at the thumbnail image I used from No One Will Save You, it looks like she's watching the doctor room and Joel's doing his thing.
Yeah. Where is she? What you done to there? I can see it. I can see it happening. People are like, well, Abby is very imposing over Ellie. It's like, no, Abby and Ellie are very similar in height. It's just that Abby's built and Ellie's not, and that's why they were so diametrically opposed. But so I think Caitlin can do anything. She's a chameleon. I could definitely see her play Abby. It would be interesting seeing Caitlin play a villain. Caitlin is a very sympathetic character in a lot of work that she's been in. Like last year, she played. She didn't play Juliet, but she played Romeo's ex-girlfriend in this Juliet movie, Romeo and Juliet movie. And then, but she was also very sympathetic there. She wasn't like trying, or she was trying to kill Juliet. But anyways, she played like a sympathetic, funny kind of character. I don't think she's ever played anything close to like an antagonist, so it must be a very exciting role for her. Also, Caitlin Deaver was in that one drug show with Michael Keaton on Hulu about the opioid epidemic, and that was fantastic. So watch that. So yeah, this is crazy. This is not who I would expect to play Abby. Abby's a very awesome character from The Last of Us Part 2. You know, you would think people are always like protect the Abby actress because she's going to get a lot of hate. Granted, Laura Bailey got a lot of hate for playing Abby because people are stupid.
Because she was hired for a job.
Exactly. How dare you do what you did?
But also, we love Abby.
We love Abby. I think Abby's a very surprising character. It's funny because me and you both are just like, we'll see where the story goes. And I was heartbroken. I was just like Ellie when you know what happened. But like, I was on board for the ride, and I quickly became just so connected with both Abby and Ellie across the game.
Anytime I've ever heard somebody like act like they had to like gruelingly go through the Abby stuff to get back to Ellie is just like, you must have been playing with your eyes closed for what was it, like at least like 6 hours to like not have even like an inkling of interest of like what her story's about.
So totally, dude. And a lot of Abby moments are just some of the best moments in the game. Incredible stuff. By the way, I'm totally buying Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. That was recently announced last week. Yeah, leaked because I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be at the Game Awards. Somebody leaked it though, and they announced it early because it says pre-orders go live on December 7th, the day of the Game Awards. I can't wait to play the game again. I can't wait to experience Abby again. And I think Caitlin Deaver would be a fantastic Abby. Yeah, she'll be in the gym. Even if she's not, I don't give a fuck. She just looks bigger than Bella.
Bella seems tall.
Bella seems kind of tall. No, Bella seems short. At least.
No, I'm saying Caitlin seems tall.
Yeah,
at least compared to Bella.
I think Caitlin's our height. Well, I think she's like 5'7", 5'8".
Hour, you say?
How tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
5'10". I think Caitlin's 5'10".
I don't think Bella is.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah. So I think Caitlin has the height on Bella, and that alone is decent enough. Even though, again, Ellie and Abby aren't like the biggest difference in height. It's all about, again, build. So it's going to be interesting if this is indeed the case. We don't know. It's just the only casting announcement that we have so far. But Caitlin can do anything. So I'm very positive about this announcement.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then we still got, because somebody else said they saw that Caitlin Deaver was auditioning, and they thought she was going to play the role of Dina or Mel. Last of Us Part 2. I think Dina would be great casting. Like, I could easily see her being, again, because Caitlin fits the Dina role, very sympathetic. Dina was Ellie's girlfriend in the game. Ellie fits that, or Caitlin fits that sympathetic like character that Dina is to a T.
I saw Dina for 10 seconds already.
I forgot about that. She was hiding in the back of the store. And then Mel, I didn't think she'd be playing Mel. Like, come on, you don't hire Caitlin Deaver to play Mel.
Say like that, Mel.
Mel's a decent character, but isn't the best character from Abby's group. Never really understood Abby, and Abby never really understood Mel. I really hope to get into that, like Abby's friend group dynamic. It's very interesting. I'll let Craig cook. But yeah, that's it for Last of Us casting. High hopes for Caitlin Deaver.
Yeah.
Even if she doesn't play Abby, I think she'll definitely be in the season somewhere. But also, we have some Fantastic Four rumors that people are not happy about, Nathan. They're not happy, Bob. They're not happy. So, latest coming from, where did this originate from?
I think Daniel RPK's Patreon.
Was Daniel RPK the first person to drop this?
I think so. At least like the clarification is that nothing is official, but they're in talks to finalize a signing, maybe.
Yes, nothing's official, but Pedro's one of the main ones that's like seems as locked down or close to locked down as can be compared to the other ones, which we'll get to. But
Right.
yeah, Pedro Pascal rumored to be cast as Mr. T. No, as Mr.
Huh.
Fantastic.
Oh, that's right. Pedro Pascal is Clubber Lang.
I was gonna go with Mr. Terrific, but that'd have been lame. Nobody knows who he is.
It's like I know, but I don't.
From Arrow DC Comics, Mr. Terrific.
Oh, okay.
With the T symbol. Yeah, exactly. Nobody cares.
I'm so sorry.
James Gunn likes the character. Remember, he did an Instagram post about Mr. Terrific.
James loves so many people I never heard of.
And
I'll let him cook.
Exactly.
I mean, hell, I was like, who the fucking Polka Dot Man? I was like, Polka Dot Man.
Cool.
Squash.
That was cool for a second.
Enough of this.
So, wow. Pedro Pascal, the world's actor for everything. You know, we've done the meme where he's in every franchise. He's Mandalorian in Star Wars. He's DC. He played the villain in Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Joel.
He played Joel, popular TV characters. Like now he's Mr. Fantastic. And of course he's been in so many other stuff, Game of Thrones, Narcos. Like Pedro's in everything, but recently he's been in so much. He's rumored to be in everything that people saw this and screamed in agony. They were not happy. And I was like, okay, cool. I didn't mind this at all, but people are pissed, Nathan. Where did you fall? I have a feeling I know where you fall, but where do you fall?
No. You tell me. Where do I fall?
You like this because you don't give a shit. You're like me.
I don't give a shit. I give some shit. I often think back to the days of casting of. I remember watching AMC Movie Talk and hearing the. It looks like, ladies and gentlemen, Joaquin Phoenix is locked down to play Doctor Strange, and I was sitting on the bus like, no. And the whole fucking world wanted Joaquin Phoenix, but I'm like, I want Benedict, god damn it, because I'm a fucking Sherlock fanatic at the time, and I'm just like, and like nowadays, now that I didn't know, I haven't seen any Joaquin's work back then, and now I know, like, yes, would he have been, a good actor for sure, but I don't see Joaquin as someone
who gives a shit about Marvel,
who's as snappy as someone like Stephen Strange,
Yeah, Benedict. Even when Benedict cast, people are like, "Oh, safe casting," but whatever. He's going to be good. Safe. And it's the same words I'm hearing now. But granted, Benedict was a perfectly cast where he looks just like the character that's been in comic books for 50, 60 plus years. And he was so perfectly cast. They were like, it's safe as hell. It's not unique. Remember, Dev Patel was a hot ticket there too.
I hear Dev Patel for everybody.
Exactly. And Dev's like, I don't want to be in these franchises. Let me do my Green Knights.
What's he in next? What's he doing?
I miss him. He's great. He must pick his partners carefully.
Chappie, right?
Was he in Chappie?
Yeah, he was in Chappie. He made Chappie.
Oh, wow. All I remember is those fucking short shorts from Hugh Jackman.
Sigourney Weaver's in Chappie. Did you remember that?
Awful. She's the villain, isn't she?
Maybe.
I
don't know.
Is she a better villain than that or Defenders?
I'll probably take Defenders.
Yeah, probably.
Let's just all collectively watch Cabin in the Woods.
Oh man, great movie, man. Peak. Who was that? Who directed that one? That was I forget his name, but I like the director a lot. It wasn't Whedon. No, it wasn't Whedon.
Is he just producer? Because everybody gave him credit because he's Avengers man at the time.
Yeah. Either way, yeah, Pedro. You go on, Pedro as Mr. Fantastic.
I'm a little disgusted, frankly. No. No, I liked it. I liked it because I know of. It's the same thing with Adam. I know how good these actors are. So like, whatever bullshit comic book thing you're gonna throw at them, I know they're gonna make it 10 times amazing because of the actors that they are.
Exactly. And this is unique because a lot of the casting rumors throughout the year, Jake Gyllenhaal, mid-30s, which was always going to be a weird choice. Adam Driver, mid-30s. Weird choice for me, at least. He just didn't seem like the kind of guy who'd join the MCU or, be Mr. Fantastic. It was a weird choice, but I was
fought you
into it.
so hard on that. I was like, he was Kylo Ren for 3 movies.
And Mr. Fantastic is not Kylo Ren.
No, but I mean, just in terms of like franchise commitment.
True. But I said exactly. He was in that from 2015 to 2019. I think he wants to do 10 years of stretching.
If they put in his clause that he can have a movie in between, then I think he would.
And he would. People always are so nervous about like, oh man, he's done now. It's like, no. Do you know how many movies Scarlett did throughout her phase as Black Widow? You know how many movies?
Ghost in the Shell.
Even RDJ didn't do a lot, but The Judge was a thing. Yeah. Like he was in things. Chris Evans, the biggest was Hawkeye. He was in a lot. Jeremy Renner was in a shit ton of things. He did all those Mission Impossible movies during his phase as Hawkeye. The Hawk, Mark Ruffalo was in Spotlight, Best Picture nominee. Like he was in tons of stuff throughout his tenure as an MCU character. We know one of the busier actors has been Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, and he was in Power of the Dog, Best Picture winner. He was
Imitation Game.
Imitation Game. Yeah,
he did that. What was that?
Imitation Game was prior to Doctor Strange, actually.
Yeah, but, what was that? That movie he did where he was was it the consultant?
Oh yeah. I mean, I know you're talking about. That was like what 20. It might have been the same year as Doctor Strange. But he was in a lot of things. People are not ruined for being in Marvel movies, no matter how many movies they're going to be in for Marvel. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Pedro here. What I'm hearing is from a lot of people: safe, derivative, boring, doesn't fit the character. And I'm shocked because, again, like I just said, Adam and Jake, they're in those 30s. Even Krasinski, I think, is in his 40s, early 40s, maybe. I don't know how old Krasinski is, actually. But Pedro is definitely oldest among them. He's 48 right now. So he'll be coming in probably when Fantastic Four is filming 50. Or when it releases. At least releases, because the date is still right now like May 2025, I think, right? Mm-hmm. I think the MCU slate for 2025 is like Thunderbolts, Cap, Fantastic Four, and Blade. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for 2025, and that's 2 years from now. Pedro would be 50 in going into his tenure as Mr. Fantastic. Let's just cap it at 10 because that's how long Iron Man was. Sure. 10 years as Mr. Fantastic, at least 8 to 10 years, he'll be in his late 50s. People are nervous about that, but I give them, Keanu, Tom Cruise, and I'm not saying he's as great as an actor as these two. What I'm just saying is that like he has the ability to perform these crazy stunts, as much stunts as Mr. Fantastic is ever going to get. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Into his late 60s. I think Pedro at 60 is going to be looking like somebody who's in his 40s. He looks very good for 48.
It's funny. I think we're so used to seeing his portrayal of Joel being like,
exactly.
So like slower mobility, but also remembering he's still getting shit done when in that character.
Yeah, he's a very fit guy. I can see him in the role. It's not what I would expect at all. Let me go through. People don't like Jeff Snyder, and he's definitely not the best guy in the world. But he has some interesting stuff here. Because he says like Pedro's schedule was packed. He has Gladiator coming out next year, which is still filming.
Right.
He has season 2 of The Last of Us, which is starting filming in January, probably going to run until March or April. 2 to 3 months of filming there. Zach Cregger's epic thriller called Weapon. Zach Cregger, I think, is the guy who did Barbarian. Coming out in 2024. So yeah, they say at least he has room to fill. He has room to film Fantastic Four sometime in there.
Yeah.
And he says, I'm told there's already Fantastic Four concept art featuring Pascal's handsome face as early as already right now. But yeah, they said they wanted a bigger name, according to Jeff. They tried out Christopher Abbott and Jamie Dornan, and tests did not go very well, according to him. Just
These are
before
bigger names than Pedro Pascal.
no. This is pre Pascal.
And looking at them, they wanted a bigger name.
Exactly. Okay. Yep. It said after this, they quickly became apparent they wanted a bigger name. Before the strike, they had they went to Jake Gyllenhaal, but he wanted too much money, as did Adam Driver early on, if I'm not mistaken. It seems weird. Actors always want a good paycheck. That's their job. But
I can especially understand if you're signing up for something this big as well.
10 years. I'm like, pay me the money, right?
Yeah. So you want me this bad? Let's go.
He says budget has been a real issue for this film because this is why Emma Stone isn't playing Sue Storm anymore. She's too expensive, and Kevin Feige is trying to contain talent costs, which is why
she was up for Sue.
I remember that, and I remember I was happy because it was Emma, then Margot was the big one, and even Margot is very expensive now.
I remember Margot. I think that overtook the headlines for me.
I think so, yeah. Which is then he says which is why we have the other three, which are Kirby, Quinn, and Eben Moss Bachrach from The Bear. 3 of which up and coming actors and actresses. Kirby is the most famous among those 3, as just basically based off of her blockbuster pedigree recently. And also, I'm told Kevin Feige feared the cast was way too white. In the words of one insider, we don't know if that's true or not. It seems weird, but you never know. Which is why they put their eyes on Pascal, who is Chilean. And he is a bigger name than Gyllenhaal and Driver, and they figured they need a bigger name because the other 3 are not bigger names. Even though the story is rumored to focus on Sue, they wanted a big name for Mr. Fantastic. So while Pascal refused to gauge during the strike, he said they would talk after the strike, which is where we are now. He does mention Pascal is 48. Eben Moss Bachrach, who is rumored to play the Thing, is 46.
But also, I think Ruffalo's in his 50s now, and he's still doing the mocap stuff for Hulk.
Exactly. The Thing, you don't need to do shit.
They're going to do the thing, for sure.
Say it again?
Like, they're definitely going to do the same mo-capture technology for Thing as well.
Yeah, they probably can get coached by Ruffalo. I wouldn't be surprised.
Where's Serkis? Where's Andy Serkis? Where he been? He was the industry coach for a minute.
For a long time, yeah. And I think now he's just doing a lot of directing and small projects. He's tired. The Venom 2 killing him.
That's why he's not doing Venom 3.
Yeah.
There's a hilarious photo Tom Hardy posted where he looks hyped as hell. He's got a beer in his hand. He's on set, ready to go. And the director, she's right behind him, looking lost in translation.
Oh, I need to see that. That's hilarious.
It's funny.
Because she used to be the writer on Venom, right? And then now she's directing. I think that's how it happened.
Yeah, was she a writer? I wasn't sure if she was.
She was associated. Yeah, producer, writer. She was associated with the film. Maybe even editor. I'm not sure.
Here's hoping this isn't another what's his face from Fox on all the X-Men, and then he did.
Oh God, Simon Kinberg.
Simon Kinberg, yeah.
Yeah, he was associated with Rebels at some point too. But yeah, so the feeling internally was that Mr. Fantastic was a tricky role to cast, not just because of the demand for multiple movies, but also because Sue is the lead of the first film. Right. And Feige felt Pascal was a get, and it wouldn't shock me the studio made some accommodations for his schedule. So it seems they said Pascal was worth waiting out his Last of Us, Weapons, and other movie schedule. So we'll see. But yeah, overall, I like this casting. I think it's very interesting. It's out of the blue. I think most interestingly for me, at least, is Pascal with Vanessa Kirby. I was always a fan, in whatever interpretation, of the romance between between Sue and
Reed.
Mr. Fantastic Reed. Yeah, it's a very interesting romance because it's one that's going to be closely, you know, you have to talk about it. It's a love story, Marvel. Don't be afraid to focus on love in these movies.
Yeah.
And it's the beauty of Fantastic Four that they're a family and they're legit a family because they get married early on in their careers. We might introduce them as already married, right? Because he's already Pascal's already 48. So I don't know how the story's going to do it, but either way, I like the idea of Pedro being with Vanessa Kirby. Kirby's like what, 38, 36, mid 30s, and Pascal's 48, which works.
Mm-hmm.
Very Han Solo Leia dynamic there, 10-year gap. Or Reylo, 10-year gap. But yeah, so it's just very interesting. I can't wait to see them. I have to visually see it. And while people are, not on board with it, I think once you see some screen tests, because people are either saying again it's safe or also that it's the worst choice in the world. I'm like, is it safe or the worst choice in the world? Because either safe means he fits the bill and it's just a boring choice, which it's fair enough, whatever. But also, Pedro is Pedro. He's a chameleon. He can do a lot of things. And people are now coming out of the woodworks to say he's not a good actor. And they're like, now can I talk about his role in Last of Us this year? Is it too early to talk about him in Last of Us? Like, no, it's not, because he was great in Last of Us. I don't know. People are crazy thinking he's not great in that show. He's amazing.
He's so good. The fact that show made me bawl every other episode.
Every other episode, and his performance was just fan-fucking-tastic. I couldn't be happier.
Like the scene where he's confessing to Tommy the whole situation with Ellie's situation. Like,
yeah,
you like, do you believe it? And it's like, I mean, I have to at this point. Like,
yeah, like I failed.
I'm no good. You have to take her.
I'm no good.
Please do this for me. Like, oh fuck!
Such a great scene. Yeah, because he's a very much more emotional Joel than when we get into games. And
which is funny because every time we fucking did an episode, we were like, "You know what deal with losses?" Just laugh. But and then every time he's bringing his A game, so good.
It's so good. So I'm on board with Pedro. Let him cook, guys. I think people are gonna warm up to it. But the rest of the cast, again, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm. You saw the interview with him. Somebody asked her straight up. I think it was from Variety.
Yeah.
They were like, "So what do you think about you getting cast in as Sue Storm?"
It was funny because she was like, "Oh, I think that would be interesting," and then their immediate response to her was something like, "You think it's going to be fun when you go to the set?" or something like that.
I would be honored, she says.
Yeah,
I would be honored.
She is smooth with it.
She was so smooth with it. Yeah, that's what they always say when somebody asks about casting. I would be honored. I would be honored. That's like the go-to quote. I would be honored. I would be honored.
Then it's made me so fucking exhausted whenever these things come up. It's like, oh, because there would always be a report of like, so and so would love to join the Marvel, and some asshole always has to be like, headline actor wants job. And it's like, motherfucker, let me have fun, all right? Shit.
I get it. So yeah, Vanessa Kirby, even Mus Baccarat as a thing, and then
that has to be most solid,
perfect one.
I don't think there's like any like looking around other people. It just seems like that's the guy.
That's the guy. That's the guy.
He's not the guy. I'm the guy. We have to do Spy Kids, man.
And if people don't know Evan, he's from like The Bear and Girls, and he's
Andor,
amazing.
a little bit.
Andor, yeah. And then Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things season 4 is rumored to play Vanessa's little brother, Johnny. They're not twins, right?
They're not twins necessarily. Yeah. I think the dynamic is usually Johnny's like the younger sibling.
Okay.
So he's a bit more like hothead, reckless.
I need to read. If anybody's in the comments, I need some good Fantastic Four comic recommendations that are not Silver Age. I need them.
On the one hand, I know plenty of people will probably recommend you Secret Wars, given that it's the primary core. The new Secret Wars, primarily the core of it is Reed versus Doom.
I've heard about that. Yeah,
But I don't know if that's going to make you go into Secret Wars of the movie and be like, "Well,
it's
this
too
isn't it at all."
weird because I always remember that one panel where when Reed has like, was it Franklin Richards like has the power like the multiverse and all that kind of stuff, and it's like there's multiverses in the palm of his hand. It's too crazy.
It's dense for sure.
It's dense as hell, which is with multiversal material. But
I know there's definitely some good.
yeah,
Like there's like, I know there's a specific run of Fantastic Four everybody loves because it's very wholesome with the family dynamic.
yeah, I hope they go that route. I'm very excited for that movie. I think it could be good. It's not my most anticipated of 2025. I still go Batman Part 2 and even Superman Legacy. I'm a little bit more excited for because they're so fresh and new. But yeah, I'm excited about this movie. We'll see what happens there. So that's casting for Fantastic Four and for Caitlin Dever. Trying to think what else. Oh, Javier Bardem is rumored to be Galactus. Now for this one,
I was hearing they're looking at the possibility of Javier Bardem, but I think their eyes are still on
yes,
their original choice for Antonio Banderas.
that's what I was going to say. Yeah, the rumors, it's still, I think they said the number one choice is still Banderas, if scheduling permits. Javier Bardem is just now an additional person they are looking at. They're both fantastic. They both fit the same bill, basically. Both fantastic at playing any kind of role. Bardem is just known for more villain roles than Banderas. I would like both of them. I wouldn't mind either one of them. I mean, King Triton playing Galactus. Come on.
Yeah.
Just kidding. By the way, we were doing Oscar talks this morning, and I was like, that Prince Eric song was great, and I was outvoted, Nathan. I needed backup.
Wild uncharted waters. Fucking slaps.
I love your passion.
Is it the best song in the movie? Maybe.
Maybe.
Am I psychotic?
No.
Next topic.
So yeah, Javier Bardem, just real quick, that would be amazing. I would like that as Galactus.
Yeah,
it's
like
interesting in general that they're sticking with Galactus as the main villain, especially given the ending of the topic of Eternals. That we've already been introduced to these cosmic level beings. I'm very curious to see how we manage to fight a big villain like Galactus and see how he's done there.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll do any Silver Surfer ties.
There's so many rumors about Silver Surfer that they might be female in this interpretation. There could be. Have you heard of this character named Terrax? It's another
Herald.
What's it called? Herald, and it's another Herald that takes place after the Silver Surfer.
Okay.
So they could be doing that instead of Silver Surfer for this movie, at least.
Our friend Alden had a great fan cast for Silver Surfer, and I've never looked back. I forget the actress' name, but she was the good Terminator on our side in Terminator Dark Fate. The short blonde hair.
Oh, holy shit! And she was in Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
Her name is escaping me right now. Holy shit. Terminator. Oh, yes, it's definitely Mackenzie. Mackenzie Davis?
Is it?
Mackenzie Davis? Let's see. Mackenzie Davis, yep.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Davis would be amazing. Holy shit, Alden.
Because I was like looking at the photo of her in Dark Fate, and I was like, just fucking silver. Like, yes.
Put some chrome on that? Okay.
She's like lean as hell, and I'm like, oh.
Mackenzie Davis is great. Great in Blade Runner, great in Dark Fate. Man, she's a great actress. Yeah, I would love her to be in Silver Surfer. That'd be a great casting. Somebody call Feige right now. I like that.
Feige's like, what are we doing with Kang?
Yeah, let's jump to that real quick before we get into our trailer rumors and stuff. Daniel Cretton leaves Kang Dynasty weeks after the other guy left as writer. Ant-Man Jeff Loveness I forget whatever his name is, the writer of Ant-Man, who was supposed to be writing Kang, left that project. Now we have Dustin Daniel Cretton, the director of Shang-Chi, Wonder Man, etc., has left Kang Dynasty, which is still rumored for 2026.
Nick still.
I think because we just talked about 4 2025 movies.
I thought they were pushed to like around 27, 28 at this point.
Oh, probably right. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Secret Wars, I thought was 27.
Well, I think they'll be back-to-back years. I think they still want to do that.
Yeah. Either way, Kang Dynasty. What the fuck is going to happen with this, Nathan? Are we getting recast? Are we getting scrapped Kang Dynasty straight up Secret Wars? What the fuck? How do you drop a storyline such as Kang? I don't think Feige's going to drop Kang.
Nothing has made me more excited than the ending of Loki season 2, or just the whole journey as a whole with it.
People are saying that that's a good example for them to cut Kang.
Well, then they didn't listen to the fucking He Remains.
Where he says there's a lot of them still remaining. Exactly.
Yeah, and he's like, I'll find them. It's like, I know, champ. So good.
Great line delivery.
But also, yeah, it's like we haven't done that yet. Like Mobius is looking.
Yeah.
Like
we got one of them. We got one of them in Ant-Man. Killed by ants.
And I think the whole like prospect going around of like the idea of like pivoting to Doom is dumb. It's way too early.
Way too early. You can't just pivot to Doom.
Because if you're putting him in the role of like the Avengers villain, then this isn't going to be an instance where you're like, oh, we beat him. See you next time, Doom. Like you're putting him in the every Avengers versus this man role. You fight him and you defeat him. You're not doing it again.
Exactly. And I see where people are coming from. They're like, put him in the movie that comes out a couple years before in Doctor Doom or in Fantastic Four. Reuse him again, just like with Loki, like you just said. And I don't think that works. I totally agree with you. I think it's just back to back could make sense. It could work, but also, or we could just prolong him all throughout the next phase. Put him in the Mutant Saga, whatever that is. I think Doctor Doom would be a great X-Men / Fantastic Four villain. He's a very fantastic character. I've always said he's Tony Stark without morals. He's very super smart, high tech plus magic. It's a great combination. It's a great villain.
Let's build up the land of Latveria.
Yes, build up that topography, that setting. You can build up a lot of things with Latveria. The politics.
The man operates in diplomatic immunity.
Exactly. Just establishing that setting, establishing the threat of that character, we thought was obvious because they're doing Galactus for the first Fantastic Four. They're not doing Doctor Doom. He's going to be set up there 90% sure, but at the same time, prolong him. Let him be your main villain moving forward into the next phase post Kang. Because he's it. He's your guy. He is your guy post Kang.
Yeah, honestly, what I think would be smart is like have him built up for Fantastic Four movies. Let him be the villain of Fantastic Four 3, we'll say, and let's have the team lose, and then have that be the stepping stone to the Avengers movies. Like, we couldn't take him alone. It's going to take all of us. Let's go.
Yeah, I could totally see that happening. And do you think he'll be, speaking of this now, do you think he'll be a factor if he's introduced in Fantastic Four? Do you think he'll be a factor in Kang Dynasty if it stays with whatever incarnation we get, or Secret Wars?
I don't think he's going to have a hand in the main conflict, but I think he'll be observant of it enough to want whatever technology Kang was operating and probably want to pursue
whatever remains.
Yeah.
Just curious. I just thought about that right now. I'm like, oh, I forgot. There are like at least two Avengers movies in Kang Dynasty, Secret Wars. There could be 2 Secret Wars to make that 3 Avengers movies. We don't know what's happening with that.
I will say there are great examples of like where the Fantastic Four are forced to team up with Doom, and it would just be like, step aside, Richards, I got this. Shit like that.
That'd be fun. That can totally happen as well. We could see hero to zero. I would love that actually, to have him be a hero in Dynasty or Secret Wars, and then, be the guy who takes what remains after the fallout of Secret Wars and then become the villain.
Mysterio?
Yeah.
That was my thing earlier too. Is like that threw me for such a loop. The idea of Jake Gyllenhaal potentially being Reed because he was already Mysterio, so that
That'd have been weird.
cracks my brain a little. I know it's like a matter of
Dimensions, multiverse.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm just, it's just nah.
Nah.
Like you can get away with Gemma Chan because she was a small background character in Captain Marvel.
Nobody cared.
Yeah, but like this is just not the same.
No, I agree. So yeah. Wait, what are we talking about?
We're talking about
Destin Daniel Cretton. So yeah, director's gone. I'm glad. Honestly,
because you want Shang-Chi
I want Shang-Chi to
and
right
Directed
the
to
fuck
Time.
now. And Directed to Time is awful, but I want it right the fuck now. I want it now, Marvel. Granted, Phase 4 and Phase 5 haven't been the most stellar of phases, but I think we all can agree Shang-Chi 2 is the best movie since Endgame. Let me hear a yes, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, you're right, Evan. Yes, you're right, Evan.
It's up. Let me real quick. Let me evaluate in my Phase 4, where that fits in my ranking of just movies exclusively.
Sure, go right ahead. It's number 1. Easy. I know you still have No Way Home.
The lower I go, I'm like, oh shit.
You have No Way Home number 1, probably. What else is beating it besides No Way Home? Black Panther 2? No.
In terms of the movies, it's it would be 6 for me.
So you have it below Black Widow?
No, Black Widow is below Shang-Chi.
Wait, below Phase 4 was not that long. There's like what? There's like 7 movies.
Oh, we got Phase 5 now.
Well, give me Phase 4. You said Phase 4.
Well, you said since Endgame. I'm going off of that.
Okay, fair. Since Endgame. What movies are above it?
I do got No Way Home.
Of course.
That's personal.
I
got Guardians 3.
That's fair. That's fair too.
I have Wakanda Forever.
I wouldn't say there's an argument. It's fair. I disagree.
Okay. I know you'll disagree. I have Multiverse of Madness.
Craziness. The keys, Evan, the notes, the music, the zombies.
That shit is cool. You son of a bitch.
Nothing in that is cooler than Wenwu, but okay. Go off, King.
All right. I do have Eternal as well. I swayed you, damn it. It's good.
You can say that it's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's not better than Shang-Chi. You're lying to yourself.
You might have points. You might have some points made in that regard. At least in terms of there's a lot of Tallow is really good. His fucking parents are so good in that movie, man.
Who?
Shang-Chi's parents.
Right? It was so emotional, so powerful. The action is great. The characters are great. The world building was fantastic.
All right, you son of a bitch. I'm gonna move it up a little above Eternals. Fucking.
There we go. Put it a little bit above Wakanda Forever. Come on. I know you can do it.
Wakanda Forever is higher than that. Nah,
I know you can do it.
I'll put it right next to Miss Marvel, just for you.
Good.
Where's Miss Marvel? You asked.
Miss Marvel is in my top 10 Marvel projects ever.
Miss Marvel's at 14 for me.
Nice. That's close enough.
Out of 43 at the moment.
Yeah. I forgot about Guardians. You're right. Guardians 3 is masterpiece. Fantastic.
It beat Quantumania. Shang-Chi beat Quantumania, if that helps you. Tough to sleep at night that I didn't do that.
It does. I'll be going to sleep thinking about that. But yeah, let's move on.
Yeah. Hold on. In this discussion where you're happy that he's no longer directing, but the future of the film.
Yeah.
So we already said our point. We want to stick with the King plot, whether that means just if you can't continue with Majors, we would just prefer a recast.
I agree. I think they just recast, keep King Dynasty, I guess. Because again, we talked about this months ago, but we're like, I want to see the new Avengers just hang out. What are they? Who are they? Can we see Shang-Chi we saw Shang-Chi welcomed into this new world with Mark Ruffalo and Captain Marvel. Let them hang out. Let them and live in this world of chaos post Avengers. But if you don't get that, let's get that in King Dynasty, at least the first half
That
of King Dynasty.
that was a nice thing in terms of leading up to Infinity Wars. Like we had two other Avengers movies with like the teams hanging out in both movies. Well, the first movie, they meet, but that's we're fighting Loki again. It's fine. Uh, then we face Ultron. The team's getting a little bigger. It's cool. We have a couple more people to introduce. Civil War's here to get that covered, while the Guardians are doing their thing, and that's what makes it fun. Of like, oh, those two teams are meeting. That's really cool. But they're also very expansive teams already together. Now it's worrisome to be like they're pitching the Secret Wars thing is like such a big thing to come, and it's going to be our first big crossover, and not only for like the heroes we're introducing, but also old heroes from past projects in the mix as
Yeah.
well.
And we know those old heroes are going to be primarily secret wars, but
Sure.
so I'm hoping King Dynasty can just be like all these new heroes coming together, chill out, fight King, whatever form we get, and then do your tons of multiverse stuff in the other Secret War movie. Just give us these, I don't know. And now we're with spoilers for the Marvels. If you're one of the 10 people who saw it, go see the Marvels because it's really good. Well, now we're getting Young Avengers, and I always said with all the other post-credit scenes, is that ever going to be a thing in the future? I'm hopeful, but with the way the Marvel is handling these post-credits, I don't know. But even Young Avengers, I would hope that they're also mentioned in a King Dynasty or in a TV series or something. I don't know if they're going to make it a film or a TV series, but
Right.
either way, I'll be down for it.
We're also still up in the air. We said this a couple weeks ago. Phase 6 has still empty slots before these two Avengers movies. We don't know what the projects will be.
Do they? Oh, all throughout 2026 and 2027, yeah.
Yeah, Phase 6 pretty much all they revealed was like Fantastic Four, two Avengers movies. And there's a lot of
Phase 6 starts in 2025, or when does it start?
It's Fantastic Four is supposed to be the start of Phase 6. That's what I remember from the special look at Comic-Con that they did.
You said, sorry, say that again. You said
Fantastic Four would be the kickoff of Phase 6.
I think that has to be switched now because there's only one movie coming out next year, and Fantastic Four starts in 2025, or at least the second movie.
I need them to do an updated timeline release because
this is at this point I think Phase 5 starts, or I think Phase 5 ends at the end of 2025. I think Phase 5 started with Guardians, right, or Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, yeah.
So it'll be Ant-Man, Guardians of Marvels, Deadpool 3, and then
I remember
2025.
Originally, Thunderbolts was supposed to be the conclusion of Phase 5.
But now Thunderbolts is in the middle of 2025. Or it's late 2025. So now it's whatever. We'll see what happens. So yeah, I think King Dynasty, I think it'll still be a thing. It just has to be completely restructured. It might not even be called King Dynasty anymore.
Right.
It has to be completely restructured. Just recast. Don't delete King. And go from there. There's tons of great actors who can contribute to King. Sterling K. Brown was in talks. Coleman Domingo was in talks. John Boyega, whatever. There's tons of great actors who can play King. Johnny Depp. No, kidding.
I'm saying once again, drop Wonder Man, damn it, and get Yaya to play King.
Yeah, I agree. But Wonder Man, I was laughing because one of the two main things he talked about was that Dustin Daniel Crichton is full on still sticking with Wonder Man. They're deep into the trenches with that already, so that's high in their priority list for some reason. But yeah, okay. So I got some place to be actually. So let's do. I don't think I have time for all these trailers.
Okay.
But I want to do. Let's do two.
Why don't we do Madam Web and Percy Jackson?
Let's do that. We can save What If for later. especially because it's coming around Christmas time.
Yeah.
So let's watch this Madam Web trailer. I gotta laugh at this monstrosity.
Oh, you don't like the CW pilot?
No, I don't. There we go. Can you see it?
Yes.
And lower the volume here a little bit. Okay. Bingo. How's it look?
Good.
Okay. Let's see. Tell me if it lags or not.
Looking good.
So the funny thing about this is it's a great cast.
Come on.
Yeah.
Get your stuff.
I like the cast, and this is weird.
I'm just taken aback that there's a spider person in the Sonyverse.
They're actually acknowledging some spider characters. This surprised me the way they're doing this movie. It's full on.
Let's try that again.
What do you describe it? Like a time kind of movie.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow. Yeah. Jake Gyllenhaal one.
Trying to save people who are running out of it.
That's Ben Parker, right?
That Uncle Ben, yeah.
Uncle Ben? Yeah. I don't know why she got in that car. That was stupid.
I don't understand what's happening. I've been having visions. I knew he was gonna die.
So these early Madam Web powers, right?
Seeing the future.
Yeah.
New York City is a whole new level of crazy these days.
This guy looks so basic, not threatening at all.
I would like to also remind the audience that the only thing this New York City has seen thus far is Morbius. Because Venom's in San Francisco.
These days.
I forgot about that. You're right.
Get off the train. That man's trying to kill you. What?
It's like a crazy white
What
dude.
is going on? I can see the future.
This edit.
What the hell?
It did go on Twitter. I was like, that is a lot of cuts in 7 seconds.
I've seen that.
It's
man
not
before.
great.
So who is he?
Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah.
Oh, I love this line.
He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
I too write
I recognize
films.
You live in. You're the paramedic. Yeah,
I know you guys.
ran me over.
Hey, you almost ran me over. Why are you in the middle of the street?
This is weird.
What are you doing?
Exactly.
What are you doing?
The weirdest fucking
Like
trailer
the
edit.
least weird thing that's happened all day.
Like, will it play better in the movie? I'm sure a little.
Oh, look at this. Oh, man.
I think
This
he's
is
Until
only
the final act, right?
the final act, if that.
trying to change what happens.
Or not even, just like a future glimpse, right? It's
Yeah,
not even.
it's a future glimpse. They're not even going to wear their suits. It's a future glimpse that's
But
like 5
the
minutes
movie's
long.
gonna end. We're like, hey, think these will fit?
so different. If you want to
But they look good in the
They do.
fun spider people.
Now.
Now what? What did they do? Was she using a defibrillator on the ceiling?
Maybe a little.
Oh my god.
Also, it's jarring that there's no
Oh my
final
God.
scene after the title. I'm so used to that in movies.
Yeah. Where's the IKEA fall collection? Where's the stinger joke? Come on. This movie, dude, comedy of the year, right? Like,
It's gonna
this
be.
looks funny.
It's also very soon. It's February.
February. It says coming soon. It might be delayed at this point.
I don't know.
February might be a great bet. Just like, oh, I don't know. It's gonna bomb wherever it comes out. It's 20 million tops. But yeah, this looks hilarious because it's well cast. I love Isabella Merced. I love Sydney Sweeney. The other actress is going to be in. I forget what she's in. She's coming to be in something recently. The black actress. I forget now. I'm blanking. But she was in something I liked as well. But yeah, and then of course Dakota Johnson's amazing, but this just looks rough. The villain looks very weak. It's some random white dude. You don't know what they become.
Is he white?
Is he not?
Ezekiel
What-
Sims.
What is he? I don't know.
Probably
Whoops.
a little splash of color in there. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
But either way, he just doesn't look threatening. And like you said, those three actresses are not going to be wearing the suits. They're going to be in there for that one quick glimpse in the future, and that's going to be it. It just looks very weak. And again, I like the time travel. I love me some Edge of Tomorrow. I love me these Happy Death Day kinds of movies where it's just like time, relive it, try and change the future, try and change the present, whatever.
Yeah.
It's a very cool idea for a Madam Web movie, or for a movie in general. But forcing in the spider of it all, the Madam Web of it all, then you're trying to put some weird expectations into it and weird plot.
It's funny because what I've actually heard of the plot, and I'm sure they'll actually market this by the second trailer because you would make the money if you did. It's essentially a Terminator movie plot where Ezekiel Sims is coming back in time to kill Peter Parker's mother so that Spider-Man's never born. That's who Emma Roberts is set to play, is Mary Parker.
Yeah, I think that would be a very cool device to do. I think that'd be very fun. And I think, you put that in the trailer, it might get some people interested. It won't be much at all, but we'll put some butts in seats probably. Like, oh, okay, there's a Peter Parker Spider-Man connection, and this takes place in the 90s, I think, right? So I think this is earlier in the timeline.
I think from the stuff it's early 2000s.
Early 2000s, yeah, that works. Sometimes I always forget, like it's 2023 now. It's been 23 years since 2000. So early 2000s could work. Yeah.
Also in the Spider news, I was seeing some rumored reports that, much to my chagrin, Spider-Man 4, Tom Spider-Man 4, is going to once again have some essence of multiverse shenanigans, and the fact that they're going to fold the Sony universe in with him.
That would be dumb. That'd be dumb.
Yes, but I guess they want their live action Spider-Verse as well.
I'll wait to see on that. I think Feige really wants to. What he was hyping up was like the street level stuff, which people would assume like.
I am for as well, which is why when I read a report like that, I'm like, please no.
Yeah, I think it's too early days.
Every 6 months, I see a report of Zendaya and Jacob Batalon will be back, and I'm like, stop! I need one break. I need one movie break to give me that impact of No Way Home to stick.
Now that I can see happening. They're too scared to not put in Zendaya in their movie. They know where the money is. Actually, the money's in Spider-Man. They don't give a fuck about Zendaya. But people didn't watch.
Ira Gwen, damn it.
People didn't watch No Way Home because of Zendaya. So I'm with you. I hope they don't put Zendaya or Genki in this movie. Not Genki. Ned.
Put Felicia in there. That'd be good.
College level Felicia. That'd be fun.
While Peter's at his lowest, just blown off steam.
Yeah. So anyway, Madam Web was like a joke. It looks bad. It just like the time essence of it all looks fun, but the whole spider plot looks really derivative and boring.
It is.
So watch the Percy Jackson trail.
Yeah, it is funny with Sony. Is I'm feeling like they're going to. I feel like, I didn't see enough of engaging action type stuff to really sell me, but then I know their next trailers are going to be too much of it, and I'm like, well, fuck.
It's going to be too much. It's going to reveal a shit ton. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's
Final
Madam Web. Like you said, final shot. We probably saw the whole third act with all that hospital car stuff, and there are allies, and they're using their powers and everything like that.
Do you think they're transporting Peter's mom in the ambulance?
Could be.
That would be engaged. I don't think they do that. They're not as good at suspense as that. But hey, I read Lightning Thief and I recognize this location.
I just finished rereading Lightning Thief. Read it a week ago. I read it in 1 week and I loved it. I felt like a kid again. So I'm going to be rereading the whole thing. Probably not in time for this show in a month from now. Actually, a month in a day. Actually, starting in 45 minutes, it'll be a month from now. But yeah, okay, let's watch the official trailer for Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Season 1.
First time for me.
Perseus. That's me.
Mm-hmm. That's who you're named after.
Because he was a hero?
Because he was brave and kind and
With the boy from Wonder.
Against all odds, he managed to find his way to a happy ending.
The person who played a younger Walker looks just like Walker. It's crazy.
Used to the world
That's really good.
feeling weird to me,
Bullies.
like
Ooh.
a puzzle with half their own pieces. But like,
Nice,
Hey.
yeah.
it all feels different somehow.
Percy, you are special. When you're ready to hear what the gods have in store for you, they'll tell you.
Percy,
The magic
This is pretty
pen.
stories I have told you about great gods.
Medusa.
and monsters,
Hey,
they are
he's
real.
gonna fight her with a
Cerberus.
iPod.
This is crazy.
You are a half-blood, and half-bloods are not safe.
I need
in
that
the world.
T-shirt.
Everything has been training for what's still ahead of me.
That Minotaur scene is crazy.
Yeah,
Percy Jackson.
I love the way Camp Half-Blood looks.
Your help. The
it
master
looks very
bolt
nice.
has been stolen. If you don't return the bolt, there will be war. That
It captures the flag.
is your quest.
I know. They're gonna have such good dynamics with the kids here.
I can't wait, dude.
But you won't be alone. A quest is always undertaken by three.
Let's go.
Process reality differently. We got to figure out what you're good at.
Luke.
Should I try again? No! There's no place for me here.
You still don't get where you fit into all this.
God, it looks really good.
By the gods.
The effects look even better than the first teaser.
Gods, welcome.
Hey, it's Lynn.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Hold fast, brave the storm.
Oh man.
Maybe I won't even need a sword.
You're gonna need a sword.
I'm gonna need a sword.
Great creature designs.
The creature designs look great. Coming out December 20th. Yeah, the creature designs look fantastic. The effects look even great. People were nervous because the first teaser trailer had some spotty effects. But this looks great. The fight against there's so many great fights I can't wait to see. The Minotaur stuff is even more terrifying than I remembered in the books. The impact that his mom has on him is great. The trio with Annabeth and Grover looks like so much fun. And just hearing what the directors and writers have been talking about recently post the trailer, they're talking about like how Percy affects Annabeth and how Annabeth affects Percy in season 1. How Percy helps enlighten Annabeth about like the human world, while Annabeth helps enlighten Percy about the mythological world and how they need each other in season 1. It's I cannot wait for that romantic relationship to blossom and bloom. Like you said, the creatures look great. I just like the pacing of it all too. And by the way, there's tons of scenes from that trailer alone that were from the finale. I was laughing a lot. I was like, "Oh, this is all from the finale." So we're getting
Empire State Building, did you?
Yeah, I did. So there's a lot of Empire State Building stuff. There's a lot of teases about gods that he'll probably see at the end. But at the same time, I'm super excited. Lin-Manuel Miranda's in this. He's playing Hermes, who is not the best dad, if you know how the first series of books works out. Not the best dad. We get to see Luke in there. We get to see like a lot of the gods, a lot of the monsters look great. Camp Half-Blood for me just looks like a beautiful set. I cannot wait to watch it. All of it. But yeah. And yeah, someone who read the books recently, I'm like, there's a lot of great character work in here. Like it's young adult, but there's a lot of rich material that I forgot how meaningful it all was in the first book. So here's hoping they hurry up and greenlight the hell out of a season 2 because I need this to go on. Don't be stupid, Disney. Don't leave me hanging like Willow.
That's an interesting thing for me is like, I read Lightning Thief, which would have been like 10 years ago now, so I'm a little dated on it, but it was a great book. It still is. And I remember I did go see the movie, the first movie, as I'm sure you did as well. Did you like it at the time?
At the time, yeah.
Yeah. So, I was very engaged. However, I never end up reading any of the other books. I didn't even watch the second movie. So I have no idea how Sea of Monsters and Forward goes. So I'm excited to not only see a more fleshed out adaptation of Lightning Thief, but where the whole journey goes from here. Because I know even like one of my closest friends, he was a huge Percy Jackson head, and he had all the books, and he was super into the mythology and like how the grand epic conclusion happens. So I'm very piqued intrigue for this journey. So I want all 5 seasons.
Me too, dude. And it's funny because I'm reading the book and I have a lot of memories from the movies. I'm like, the movies really fucked over the first book because there's tons of stuff the movies just added that wasn't even in the book. But all that being said, yeah, I'm with you. I can't wait. Give us 5 seasons, and yeah, next time we'll delve into What If season 2 and all the stuff we didn't get into today. Because yeah, and I'm happy. There's a lot of news to talk about now. The SAG strike's over. The strikes are over. Actors and writers got what they wanted, what they needed, and now we're full on with lots of movie news and TV news ahead. So yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at HarrisEV9. I did a podcast earlier today about Oscar predictions for the month of November. A lot of like moving things up and down. I think Killers of the Flower Moon might be going down, but Barbie's going up. So good stuff for Barbie, and then Oppenheimer is definitely winning. Don't even question me about this. Same for Robert Downey Jr. Sorry, Gosling, it's not happening. I'll fight anybody who thinks the opposite. Even though I love Gosling.
Robert.
Show him that clip. It's the best clip of the year. So good. It's just amazing. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of podcasts, watching TV. Invincible season 2 part 1 ends next week, this Thursday. Kirkman says there's a huge cliffhanger, big reveals happening at the end of this episode coming out soon. So can't wait to talk about that on Twitter. But yeah, living good.
And you follow me at _TimeBlazer. Make a show called Time Blazer with creative consultant and co-host Evan Harris.
Yep. Playing the best character, Ben.
Yeah.
Not Mr. T. Yeah. Had to go full circle.
Yeah, or Boris said, good job. So that being said, if you guys enjoyed this, make sure you like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so in this future episodes be 111 next time. Jesus Christ. And that being said, hope you have a great day, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Peace out.